Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk less chat. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing. Cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan, pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the cause. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast and we poppin', let's go.
Yo, what's popping with the people, man? Hey, real talk, I just want to get up here because I like the intro. For real. Intro is fire, and I just wanted to hear it. So I decided to go live. Now I'm playing. So it's some good stuff dropped by Scott Fitterer and company. He was joined by Dan Morgan and Cole Spencer. Both of those guys got up there, and they all had a conversation about the draft. So this is good stuff. Shout out to everybody. Welcome. Everybody, Panther Nation podcast. It's your boys. Oh, it's your boy Rashad. Dave, I'm not sure where he at. Probably working, but you know it is what it is. So I just decided to come up here real quick and talk about the presser because I missed it when it started, so I didn't go live. Typically, I do a live stream during the presser and give my thoughts as it happens, but I just missed it. So I said there's a lot of good nuggets dropped, so I'm gonna come up here and give my thoughts. All right. So that being said, let's talk about a few things. Number one, we can get that out the way. Brian Burns, we're going to pick up his 5th-year option. Pretty much, you know, that was all but bound to happen. He confirmed it. We're going to do it before the deadline. So that's going to happen. So shout out to Scott Fitterer and everybody for them actually picking up his 5th-year option. Okay, couple other things that was said. Cole Spencer says they evaluated 800 players. 800 players, and they have 156 guys on their board. All right, so 156 guys they have on their board. I wonder if Evan Neal is still on their board because of medical stuff. Interesting. We talked about it a little bit last night. Evan Neal has a bit of some sort of medical issue that is not disclosed, and I'm not sure what's going on with that. Scott Fitterer also says he is comfortable with Matt Rule after working together for a year and a half, and the two are aligned. So does that mean y'all weren't aligned last year? I'm trying to figure out why you have or feel the need to say that when he opens up with that. So I'm sure that there are some philosophy things that may have come up, but that's kind of where they are. I guess they made it. Scott wanted to make it a point that they are aligned. They are on the same page. And they said it multiple times during the press conference, which is cool. What else are you going to say? All right. So he also said, last night we talked about how trading up or trading back, you need a trade partner, right? And so Scott Fitterer mentioned there's about 3 or 4 teams he's heard from that seem interested or seem serious about trading up to number 6, about 6 teams. The problem with this, and he talked a little bit about this, is that last year they were able to predict the first 10 or top 10 picks. They knew what they knew what was going to happen. This year, he mentioned that it's a bit more difficult. And we talked about that last night because there's no consensus top 10. There's no top quarterback being taken. There's no the top guy. We're all going to find out on Thursday who the top guy is. Nobody knows. Like, there is no consensus #1 guy. Like in years past, you always have a top quarterback or a top dominant player that is going #1, and you know it. This year is about 4 or 5 guys that could really legit go #1, and we just don't know who it is. So it's hard to predict. So you can't say that you're going to be able to trade with the team until you see how the draft falls. Because, yes, there could be teams, and they may have had those preliminary discussions that, if this dude's available, we're going to pick up the phone and call you. Those are the type of conversations that's probably happening right now. But he also said he was comfortable with taking a couple of QBs at 6. Dave and I said last night that, we don't know if there's a top 10. There's no consistent top 10 quarterbacks. Obviously, they feel different. They feel like and maybe this could be a bit of positioning. This could be a bit of a smoke screen trying to prop up those quarterbacks saying, yeah, we're interested in taking a couple of guys at 6, knowing good and well they're not. It's really difficult or really it's not the wisest thing to bank on all these words right now because it could be a little bit of a smoke screen. But you talked to Steve Berline. I released an interview this morning about with Steve Berline talking about the draft and talking about the quarterbacks. And he mentioned he didn't think none of these guys were a top 10 pick. So it's not just us saying that. It's many people saying that there's no top 10 guys. All right. So it's not just Dave and I. It's a lot of people saying that. It's interesting. But he says they're comfortable with taking a quarterback, a couple of quarterbacks at number 6, and they also talked about the tackles. Right? They know that they're gonna potentially either take a tackle or a quarterback. I tweeted out earlier today or during the press conference that tackle or quarterback is going to be the pick. I don't see a scenario where an edge rush is taken. I can't see it. Even if Kayvon Thibodeau fell, I can't see them taking another defensive player top 10 for the third consecutive year. I don't see it happening. I just don't. I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong, but I see it being a tackle or a quarterback. Just my opinion. What else happened? He says, interesting conversation that Scott Fitterer had a conversation with Sam Darnold. They spoke yesterday, and he pretty much said he told Sam Darnold that, we're going to end up with another quarterback in the room, most likely after this weekend, whether it's trading for one or drafting a quarterback. There's going to be another quarterback added to this group, which is very transparent of them. But they want to build competition. They know they got to stabilize it. He pretty much says, we know we need to stabilize the quarterback position, and we look forward to adding to it, and mentioned that he told Sam Darnold that information. Now, also, Jimmy G or Baker Mayfield, those are other options as well. They're not honed in at one. This goes back to what we talked about yesterday. Is there a direction? Do they have a plan? Because I think they're just kind of going by whatever's given to them, which is not. That is in fact a plan. They're not being, what's the word? They're not being direct about their plan. They're just kind of saying, hey, we're going to take what's given to us and we're just going to roll with it. So maybe that's their plan. I don't know. So it is what it is. He also said when you look at quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks versus veteran quarterbacks, you have to ask yourself, why are some of these quarterbacks available, right? So you talk about Baker Mayfield and his issues. He's acting like a little crybaby out there. He's afraid he could have took his lumps and hung out there with Deshaun and competed, and increased his draft or increased his stock or whatever it may be. Whatever, he could have competed, but he, got out of there like a little crybaby. And then Jimmy Garoppolo got the shoulder injury, and they moving on from him. They felt like he wasn't adequate enough, so they drafted a quarterback in place of him. So you have to think. You have to ask yourself, why are these quarterbacks available? And that's what they're talking about when he mentions that. So it's just interesting. What else did he say? He said that teams have asked him whether he would trade 2 or 3. He would trade future 2 or 3. His answer has been no. So he's trying to protect those picks after not doing that last year. So some teams are looking for those picks, our future second and third round picks. And he said, nah, we're good. We're gonna keep those picks after, again, being loose. We traded Sam Darnold, we traded away and got CJ Henderson. So we were real loose with the picks last year. And this year it looks like not so much. It looks like they're gonna hang on to those joints. They also asked about Damian Wilson's arrest, and they said they've spoken to him about it, but obviously, since it's a pending legal matter, they can't really talk about it. So, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, this is true. This is a valid question. Why trade for Baker? Wait for the Browns to release him. I mean, yeah, that's true. But also, you have to have a plan at some point. So, for instance, at some point, you have to make a decision on what you're going to do with the quarterback position. You can't just wait forever because ideally, the Browns might not even release him. They might hold on to him. You don't know. You're kind of playing the waiting game to see what happens. And sometimes at some point you have to make a decision on the quarterback position. You got to either draft one, or you're going to have to get one in free agency, or you're going to have to get one or trade for one. And you're going to have to make that decision. You can't just wait for dudes to be released. It doesn't work like that. Like, you can't just wait around. You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan and enact that plan. Waiting around is what gets you the leftovers, right? Nobody wants leftovers. We want to make a decision, go out and make a guy feel wanted. You know what I'm saying? I think that speaks volumes too, but I don't know. I don't know, man. And this could be true as well. This is a good point. Browns could wait to August for someone started to get hurt in training camp, and that's a good time. That's a good theory too, because the asking price goes up at that point too. So we'll see. We will see. What else do we need to talk about? What else do we need to talk about? What else was mentioned that I need to react to? I pretty much covered the high level stuff. Let me see if I can find some other stuff that was mentioned. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. Brian Burns, we did pick up, we're going to pick up his 50 option before that goes down. Do I think Cam is coming back? I think Cam is the last option. He is like plan Z. Cam is plan Z. One thing he did mention as well was that he isn't pressed about recouping the picks. So when we talk about trading back, he isn't worried about getting those picks because he feel like he has his 3rd round pick in CJ Henderson. He has a 3rd round pick on the field playing this past year. So he's not really worried about recouping the picks, which is important. You have to have that mindset. You can't be pressed just to add picks. You know what I'm saying? You can't be pressed to do that because you may pass up on a good player instead of taking one when focusing on trying to recoup picks. So I like that. I do like the trade back, but it has to make sense. You can't just trade back with yourself. You can't trade back with yourself, number one, and you can't just take whatever. Like, you can't just take whatever offer is given to you just to trade back. I'm down for the trade back, but I'm not just gonna get fleeced either. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's why he has that mindset. I'm not pressed for recouping picks. I'm cool with picking pick 6 and then pick 140 whatever in the 4th round. They're cool with that. And I think that is a good mindset. I know it sucks for the fans, but for an executive making that decision, I think it makes sense. You cannot be pressed and trying to, I'm gonna go in and get and recoup, because then your leverage is gone at that point. You're just gonna take whatever, and that's not a good look. That's not a good look. They're not gonna trade Robbie. Robbie's not going anywhere after they extended him, not extended him. Let me take that back. They restructured his contract. A lot of dead money in trading him. I don't think it's gonna happen. Highly unlikely. What else did he say? Let's break down some more of this stuff. Would I be mad? Yes, I would be, because there's no need to trade. There's no need to trade for anybody when you can either draft a quarterback or just play Sam. Baker Mayfield is not a huge, extravagant upgrade over Sam Darnold. Let's be honest. Look at what he had at Cleveland. He had one of the best receiving cores at one point, couldn't get it done. He had the best offensive line, the best run game, and couldn't get it done. So no. And he had a really good defense too. So he's not going to be a huge upgrade over Sam Darnold. That's just the facts. Is he solid? Does he show some promise? Sure, but so did Sam. Sam did too at some point. So I'm not trading any more picks for any more quarterbacks. Go get me a quarterback, bro. If you feel that pressed about a quarterback to where you need to trade for Baker Mayfield, then just draft one, dog. I don't, as much as it sucks, because I know I like Malik Willis, and I know I'm probably talking kind of out of both sides of my mouth right now, but my prediction is Malik Willis. That's who I think the Panthers are going to pick. That's just, I have no inside information or nothing like that. I just think that's what the Panthers are going to do. I just think it's they've been talking about quarterbacks. They've been talking about quarterbacks for the longest time, and I think they're just going to take one. If I had to put money on it, I go Malik Willis. I think he has the most upside of any quarterback. Now, does Matt Rule have the time? That's the problem with drafting Malik Willis, because I hate the situation for him. I love Malik Willis. But I hate the situation for him. Individually, he's a great player, a lot of potential, but the situation for him sucks. Coming into a team that has a lame duck head coach, that if Sam Darnold sucks, guess what the crowd is going to do? Guess what everybody's going to do? We want Malik. Play Malik. And then guess what's going to happen? They're going to put him in before he's ready to play. And then that could ruin him. Or let's play it down even further. They play him. He doesn't have a great year. They fire Matt Rule. Then we bring another head coach. That head coach doesn't like Malik Willis. Then what do you do? Right? So that's the problem with taking the Malik Willis. You're going to put him in a very, very difficult situation. I love Malik Willis. I just don't think the situation for him is the right situation. It's too much. It could be too much pressure on him to come in and win now. Get like the Lions. I see the Lions fans in here. Shout out to Funky Lions fans. He says, I just let the Lions chat and they're talking about Malik Willis too. I think that's a better situation for him. He has more time. There's no pressure. I don't think any head coaches are getting fired out there. I think they're good for a little bit. That's the right situation for him. You know what I'm saying? So the Panthers is not a good situation for Malik Willis. Malik Willis needs to go to a situation with a good coach, a good system that can develop him, and where there's some stability. We don't have that in Carolina, and I don't think we're going to have that if Matt Rule sucks this year and he's thrusted in there. I just don't know. I don't know. Clell Ham says, they said, shout out to Super Chat too. Appreciate that. That's Superman chat and all that good stuff. He said, they said they had 6. They would take it 6, 2 quarterbacks. And we all agree that there are only 3 top tier left tackles. So a defensive player is definitely a possibility. I agree. Your deduction makes complete sense. Your deductive reasoning makes complete sense. I agree with you. I'm all for the top 3 tackles. I'm all for Malik Willis. That's pretty much the only quarterback that gets me excited. That's the only guy that gets me excited. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. What else did we talk about? Let me pull up the chat. Pull up some more tweets. Pull up some more tweets right quick. See what I can find. So I think he also said, yeah, okay. So he talked about 2023 picks, and no, we're not trading 2023 picks. They're not focusing. They're not just focusing on the draft. They'll look at the trade market too. So we talked about the trade market. Do I think Malik is accurate enough? I think he can't. Yeah, he's got some good arm talent. I think people are, don't get too caught up in that Liberty stuff, man. He didn't play in a top tier program. He didn't have good players around him. I just think he needed some people around him. I think in the right system, he's going to be fine. I think he's accurate enough. Yes, to answer your question. Let's see. What else is out there? Yeah, what else? Any more things y'all noticed that I missed that I didn't talk about? I know some of y'all coming in a little late, so I probably addressed some of the stuff already. But if y'all got anything else y'all want me to address that I didn't address already, let me know. Matt Rule is the dead weight holding us back. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, this is true. If they say there's 6 people they would take, but the thing is, what if one of those 6 people that they take what if one of those 6 people are still available? What if let's say 3 of those guys that they're willing to take at 6 are available, and they're still available at 6? That means I could still trade back a couple of picks and still get one of those 6 guys I wanted. So that does mean they could trade back. It still means they could trade back if you look at it the right way. If you're looking at it the right way, it just depends who those 6 guys are. Let's say all 3 tackles are available. Let's say Akem, Cross, and Evan Neal are available, right? At 6. That means I could trade back 2 spots and land one of those guys, potentially. Or at least trade back 1 or 2 spots. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. It depends how the draft goes. That's what I'm saying. You can't go into a draft with the plan like that. You have to, in this particular draft, you can kind of go through the simulations and kind of say, this is what I would do if this happens. But, people get overdrafted all the time. It's going to be somebody go in the top 5 that we weren't planning for. And then you got to be able to adjust. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good look. I think it's a good look if we just hang tight, remain fluid. And like I said, I'm all for the trade back, but I'm not trying to get fleeced either. I'm not trying to get fleeced. I wouldn't be mad at defensive end at 6. It depends who it is. It depends who it is. So some of those top guys are really talented, man. So I'm not mad at defensive end. We need edge. We need help. Phil Snow said we need another edge rusher. We need another linebacker. We need another safety. That's what he said. So I'm not mad at it. Do I like Cross now? Yeah, I still don't think he's the best fit. It's growing on me after watching some more film. He's growing on me a little bit. Pause. But I'm kind of like preparing myself for all options. Like, this is what happens when the draft gets closer. You start to like come to reality with some of these guys. Like, some of these guys could potentially be our pick. And so you start to be like, all right, what if he was a pick? You kind of start to convince yourself that this guy is going to be a solid pick. So that's kind of what's going on in my head right now. I'm like, all right, you kind of play mind games with yourself. So that's kind of where I am. That's where I am with it. And I do like Cross. I'm not saying that he's a bad player. I've never said he was bad, but I just felt like even this was before the McAdoo hire. I felt like with Cross, he's more of a pass protecting guy, and that, we want to run the football. If that's the case, then I don't think he's the best fit. I think Ickey or Evan Neal are those road graders that they really want. I think those are the 2 guys that they really want. I just think Cross is not, he can run block, but he's not as effective as the other ones. I'll say that. Let's see. Yeah, Jermaine is a beast. Jermaine Johnson is a beast. He's a beast, man. He had a great Senior Bowl. He's a Florida State, great player. I just think that, you know what I'm saying? I don't see him going in the top 5. If he goes in the top 5 over like Aiden Hutchinson to Kayvon Thibodeau, like I don't know. That's a bit far, bro. But that's the thing. That's the crazy thing about this draft, is that you don't know where anybody's gonna go. Like, and that's why teams may or may not want to trade up. You could just sit back and wait, and you never know who's gonna fall to you with this draft. So that's why I maybe see 1 or 2 trades happen in the first round. That's really it. And I could be completely way off it could be way more than that happens. I don't know how many trades there were last year, but I felt like there were a lot. I feel like there was about 4 or 5 trades happening in the first round last year. I don't expect to see the activity that we saw last year in this year's draft. That's just my opinion. Would I trade our first for Debo and Jimmy? I hate hearing those rumors, bro. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. A lot of things would have to occur in order for that to work. I would do it if we were in a better position. Like, if we were right there on the cusp, if we were a playoff team and we just needed that last little bit to get over the top, I would. But given where we are right now, that's it. The Debo Samuel stuff it's not going to happen. And I love Debo. But I just don't, because you got to pay him next year too. We just paid DJ Moore. We had Robbie Anderson on the books. It's a lot. It's a lot of finagling that will have to happen if that were to go through. You got to process all that stuff. So I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah. Oh, and also this is a good point. Says, very likely any trade up offers so far put us below the teams in the first round. So Fitterer also mentioned this. He said that he wants to stay in the teens, right? That's kind of where the sweet spot is. And I think that was a message to all, comers to say, hey, yo, if you want to trade, fam, you gotta be within the teens. You trade back to the 20s. I still think that's what's the crazy thing about this draft. If you look at the mock draft simulators, I think there's some solid talent going in the 20s and 25 through about 25. I think the entire first round that it's so level that the talent is so level, bro. Like it's just a lot of guys, and so I can see us trading back and still getting a decent talent, bro, and still coming up. And then that second and third round, that's the money rounds. That's where you really can hone in on some of those talented guys. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. Pause. Yeah, pause on that, man. Pause. So Caleb says, "I'd be disappointed if we don't draft Smoke Monday." I'm telling you, he'll be. Yeah, Smoke bring the smoke, bro. Smoke brings the smoke. Which pick are we missing from next year? I believe it's a 6th. If I'm not mistaken, I can check. Give me 1 second. Let's see. We are missing 2023. We are missing, our 6th. We traded Stephon Gilmore, and he's off to the Colts. So that 6th round pick was all for naught. So we have a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and a 7th in 2023's draft. 2024 still intact. 2025 still intact. That's where we stand. Yep. Shout out to you guys, man. Put me on the spot. I be forgetting sometimes, bro. Good question, though. That's a really good question. I agree with this. We should be getting some. I gotta check the comp. Let me check the comp calculator, man, because we might not get some. They might be offset. Let me see. It might offset. Let me check. Carolina Panthers. Right now, yeah, we're not getting no comp picks next year right now. As of right now, Hassan Reddick was canceled out by. This is a prediction. This is a prediction, right? So don't get it. Don't take this as gospel, right? But Hassan Reddick was canceled out by Damian Wilson. Stephon Gilmore was canceled out by Austin Corbett. Daquan Jones was canceled out by Xavier Woods. Right. So that's the way the comp pick calculator has us shaking out. So we as of right now, we wouldn't get any comp picks. As of right now. I don't know, man. I don't know if that many. I think it's Pickett and Willis are the top 2 guys. They've been kind of on those guys all, and it could be Ritter too. Well, not at 6 though, but I think they like Ritter too. At 6, I think they like Willis and Pickett. Those are the 2 quarterbacks that are included in that 6th round in the top 6, in my opinion. And then after that, I think they like Ritter a lot. So if we happen to trade back and we don't take quarterback in the 1st round, let's say we trade back to the 2nd, I think Ritter could be one of those guys. Let me check the Phil Snow ain't. If Matt Rule goes, so does Phil Snow. They're connected to the hip, dog. They've been together for like their whole life. Malik Willis, we've had a private workout with him. We've had him at the combine. Let me see. What does this other thing stand for? Yeah, so Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, same. Sam Howell, a lot of touch points with him. Ritter, had him at the Senior Bowl. So it's all these quarterbacks, man. We've done a lot of due diligence on them, and it's just I think they're preparing for a trade back. If a trade back happens, yes, we did meet with Zappy as well. We're prepared at every level, and that's why I think we're going to take a quarterback. It may not be when you think it is. It could be Zappy in the 4th round. We don't know. So, Caleb, this ship is sailed, bro. No, I don't think he gets too much hate. It is what it is at this point. It's too much evidence out there that he's not good enough. Too much. It's too much evidence, dog. It's now you're spanning multiple teams. If it's you can't blame the Jets anymore. Like you can't do that. It is what it is, bro. He's not good. He's just not the guy. He's young, yeah, but he's also not the guy. Youth is not an excuse. Either you got it or you don't. He don't got the juice. He doesn't have the juice, man. That's just facts. Facts. Yeah, this is exactly right. Exactly what I second this. He's been in the league for a while. He's just not it, bro. He's just not it, fam. And it's no disrespect. It's just the truth. I tell my wife this all the time. The truth is not disrespectful, bro. It's just facts. The truth can never be disrespectful because it's the truth. Right. I agree. I'm with you, Landon. I like Zappy's game, bro. I like Zappy's game a lot. I like Zappy's game. I think the bigger question is, what's going to happen. Obviously, we're going to play after this weekend. Let's say we go through this weekend and we don't have a quarterback. I think that's the biggest question. What's going to happen? We got Cam potentially coming back. Maybe you got Jimmy Garoppolo. You got Baker Mayfield. You could trade for Gardner Minshew. There's a lot of different options. And so I think that's the bigger issue or bigger question because, even if we draft a rookie, Sam Darnold's starting, bro. I don't care who we pick. It could be Kenny Pickett. It could be Malik Willis. Sam Darnold's getting to start week 1. That rookie ain't playing until down the road. So I think if we bring in another veteran, that's where it gets kind of tricky. That's where it gets kind of tricky. So Akash says, suppose we manage to trade down, would we pick up a QB or Penning or some other position? I think it depends what you get. If you can get the gap between the top tier left tackles, because Penning is it. Like once you get past Penning, it's a huge drop off for left tackles. The drop off to Penning is let's be clear, the top 3 and then Penning, and it's a big drop off from there too. Don't get it twisted. It's Cross, Neal, Icky, big drop off, Penning, bigger drop off the rest of the cast. The gap between quarterbacks is, depending on how you scout them, not as big. So I would probably take my left tackle in the first round and then try to get or guard or whatever, Zion Johnson or somebody, whatever they're trying to take in the offensive line, and then try to go get my quarterback. But I also would think too, you got to play a little bit. You got to think a little bit down the road too. Think about that 5th-year option for the quarterback. So I could see them taking the quarterback just because that 5th-year option is so valuable. So I can see them doing a lot, man. I can see them doing a lot of things. I can see them doing a lot of things. So I just don't know how it's gonna hash out. And nobody knows, bro. And Fitterer and them don't know either because it was pretty apparent by that press conference. They have no clue. They're just gonna have to play the cards they're dealt. Yeah, no, I agree too. It sounds like, be clear. We talked about this earlier before we had 185 people watching, but I think they're 1,000% comfortable with trading back. They're 1,000% staying at 6 and not trading back. They said they're not pressed to get draft picks. So I firmly believe that they are cool with taking one of the top 3 tackles at 6 or taking a quarterback at 6 and calling it a day. And we won't see each other until day 3 of the draft. They are 1,000% comfortable with that. 1,000%. So we'll see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get up out of here. I got to get my daughter from the bus stop because I believe it's raining. It stopped raining. I think it stopped raining, but I'll get my daughter from the bus stop. So I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. And I'll holler at y'all on Thursday. We're doing a draft party. Make sure y'all come through. Patreons get to hop on live. with us. And yeah, man, it's gonna be lit. So see y'all at 7:30, 7:45 on Thursday. All right, we out. Make sure you have a good day. Make it a good day. I'm out. Peace.